Hi everyone, before we start today's lesson, I wanted to take a moment to talk to you directly. Until now, I have been creating these videos using animations and voiceovers. It was a good starting point for this channel, but I have realized that the best learning happens when there is a real connection. When you can see someone explaining a concept, drawing it out, breaking it down step by step, just like in a classroom. So from this video onwards, I will be teaching live on a whiteboard, face to camera. I really hope this new style helps the concept stick even better. Alright, let's get into it. So, let's start with today's topic, one that every supply chain student needs to know. And the topic is demand forecasting in supply chain basics. So, in the next few minutes, you are going to learn what is the meaning of demand forecasting, which is very important to understand what is the meaning of demand forecasting. Second, we will study about why it can make or break a supply chain, why it can make or break a supply chain, the second part. And the third point, we will cover the types of forecasting, how many types are there, and what is the role of these types in terms of forecasting. And the fourth point is three basic methods, which is super easy model to understand. Three basic methods with really easy example. And the last is common mistakes even experienced teams can make. Some common mistakes which will happen. So these are the 5 points we will cover today. Whether you are studying for exams, preparing for interviews, or just curious, this video is for you. Let's go. So, before we get into theory, I want you to picture a real situation. Imagine you own a perfume factory. Imagine you own a perfume factory. And Diwali is 3 weeks away. Your biggest season. Every year gives celebrations, people buying fragrances for families and friends. So this time you decided to go all in. You produced 15,000 bottles of perfumes. This is your production. You planned that this is a Diwali season. Maybe people will buy items and we need to produce more. And Diwali comes, Diwali goes. The final result that you sold only and only 6,000 bottles. How many bottles? We sold only and only 6,000. So the balance is 9,000. 9,000 figure, 9,000 bottles sitting in your warehouse. The ingredients were expensive, the glass bottles were expensive, the packaging was expensive. All that money is now frozen. So you didn't lose money because your perfume was bad. You lost money because your forecast was wrong. So what is exactly the demand forecasting? I will give you a clear definition. Demand forecasting means how much customers will buy, how much customers will buy in a future time period. Future time period. So demand forecasting is equal to predicting how much customers will buy in a future time period. You are not guessing randomly, you are studying past sales. The first major factor is past sales. The second is market trends. Very important. First is past sales, second is market trends, and the third is upcoming seasons and events. Like how I took the example of Diwali. Upcoming events and seasons. You can use events, seasons, anything for better understanding. So in demand forecasting, we are not guessing randomly. We are studying past sales, we are studying market trends, we are studying upcoming events and seasons, and all these factors, we are using all that to build the best estimate, the best figure. It will be XYZ. Whatever is the number is coming, after analyzing all these 3 points, we are finding the best figure in terms of demand forecasting. Now, going back to our perfume factory, before Diwali, their team studies how many data, okay, how many past sales last year happened in Diwali, means sales data in Diwali. This is the first point for analysis. Second is any new fragrances being launched, any new fragrance, any new product being launched. Now you will think how the second point will help in the analysis. Third is the economy strong or weak this year? Of course, economy is strong or weak, it will impact huge on sales. Okay, and the fourth last point, what are the competitors doing? We need to track this also. So team studies these 4 points. The first point is sales data, last year sales data. Okay, keep it in the mind, last year sales data in Diwali. Second is any new product being launched. What is the economy status? Is it strong? Is it weak this year? And what are our competitors doing? And from all of that, they estimate this Diwali we should produce XYZ bottle. With the helping of these points and with the helping of these 3 scenarios, these 3 points, we will find the best figure. Either it can be anything. So if I will write in the easy language, what are the points which is important? The first is past data, okay, to do the analysis. Second point is analysis. Analysis is based upon the market trend. Analysis is based upon the seasons. Analysis is based upon the events. And the third is estimation. Okay. And the last is production plan. Production plan. So first we need to go ahead with the past data, which will help in analysis, and with the help of analysis we will estimate exactly what we need to produce. Easy. So that process is demand forecasting. Simple but extremely powerful when it's done in a right way. So our next topic in demand forecasting is types of demand forecasting. There are 2 ways to classify forecasting. I will help you. I will draw a table which will help you to understand in an easy way. So the first type is, the first classification, or you can say first type, is by time period. Okay, this is a first type. It means it includes 3 major points: short term, medium term, and long term forecasting. Now, I hope it is very clear. If I'll talk about the short term, which is coming under by time period, and the medium term, okay, and the long term. Now, when I'm talking about these 3 points, the first thing is coming, what is the time frame of these 3 types, which is coming under the time period classification. So I will tell you in an easy way. In short term, the time frame of this term forecasting is days to 3 months approximately. Okay. And if I'll talk about the medium term, it is lying from 3 months to 2 years. Okay. And if I'll talk about the long term, it is about 2+ years. So this is the time frame of these types. So in the short term time frame, we do, it is used for weekly stock orders, daily staffing, and next month production run. The medium is about production planning. Within this time frame, we can do production planning, budgets, new fragrances, new products to be launched timings. And the third is which is the long term, and it is more than 2 years. It will come. It is used for like entering a new market, some long term investment and decisions coming under this long term. So our perfume factory uses short-term forecasting to plan next month's production and long-term forecasting to decide whether is there any long-term investment the company can do. And the second type or second classification is buy method. Now, of course, in this type also, two types are coming. The first type is qualitative, okay, and the second type is quantitative. I hope there is a good clarity on these terms. So if I will talk about the qualitative, this qualitative is based upon what basis? How you will do forecasting with using qualitative type? It's very easy. We will take expert opinions and survey. So in this, it is based upon the qualitative is based upon the expert's opinion. Okay, experts interviews and surveys. Okay, so when we are using this qualitative method, when there is a chances or there is a time of launching a new product without any sales history, when we are using this qualitative method, when we are launching a new product, of course it is very basic thing now. If something new is coming in the market, if there is a no sales data, we will take opinion from the experts who are working in the same domain, who have a good knowledge about the product, about the industry, about the market. So we are using this method when we are launching a new product in the market. Okay, without any sales history. Keep it in your mind. Without any sales history means no sales data, no previous data available. Okay, and the next type is quantitative, means past sales data and numbers. It is very easy to understand from here that the past sales data and some numbers. So in this case, we are using existing product with enough sales history to find a pattern. Suppose if some product is already in the market, we can easily take the data from there and we can easily find the pattern. Suppose if in the first 3 months it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going straight, we will analyze from there. Okay, this is the data is saying. So as per the data, we need to produce, which is comparatively more easy to analyze from qualitative. This is bit easy. If somebody have data, they can easily analyze the pattern and they can easily recommend the numbers. But in qualitative, if we are taking 3-4 people from the same industry, everyone's have different opinion, and on the basis of the opinions we need to find out the exact, not exact, nearby the accurate number for the forecasting. If I will write in a simple language, so qualitative is based upon the qualitative is equal to opinion, okay, and the quantitative is equals to data. So these two words will help to understand, okay, when we are using qualitative and how, what pattern, what thing is coming to use qualitative, and quantitative we are using data to understand the pattern. Okay, so now our next topic is 3 basic methods of demand forecasting. This is the most important part of today's video. 3 methods, no scary formula, just clear concept you can use, you can actually use. So if I'll talk about the 3 method, I will start with the first method, which we call NAIVE method. NAIVE. Now, what is the meaning of this method? If I will say, this method meaning is last observation carried forward. Last observation, okay, last observation carried forward. Now it is, I hope it is very clear with the wordings. The NAIVE method means last observation carried forward. The simplest approach possible. The logic is, whatever is the last month sale, okay, whatever is the number in the last month sales, it will be is equal to this month's forecast. It will be is equal to this month's forecast. Means this is the March last month sales and this is the April forecast. Okay, for example, if the factory sold 3,000 bottles sold in the last month, means in the March we forecast as it is 3,000 bottles for April. Easy? Again, I will explain the example. If the factory sold 3,000 bottles in March, we forecast 3,000 bottles for April. Easy. You will be clear from this heading. Last observation. This is the last observation and it is carried forward to the April. Okay. So it will, now the next question is when this method will work. Can we use this method every time in every situation? So no. This method will work well when demand is very steady and rarely changes month to month. Okay, when there is a demand in Jan, for example, again, Jan, Feb, March, April. If in January it was around 2,900, in February it was around 2,950, in March it is around 3,000, somewhere nearby, means it will not go like this. It will be very steady and rarely change. In that situation we can use this method. Okay, it will fail when there is a festival season, when there is a season change, or is there any promotion coming. It cannot see those spikes. It will be not easy because in this method we are taking only and only last month observation, not 3, 4, 5 half year observation numbers. We are only taking last month observation to find out the exact number for next month forecasting. Okay, so keep it in the mind. This method we will use when demand is very steady, not fluctuating every month and rarely changes to month to month. Okay, so first we discuss. Second method is First we already discussed, this is a Nave method. Second is moving average. Okay, this is a second three basic method. Second one. So instead of only last month, which we are taking in the last method, Nave method data, in this type, in moving average type, we are taking, people are looking at the last few months together, not only single last month. We are taking last few months together and takes their average. This smooths out randoms, ups and downs. Okay, for example, if there is an October, November and December, these are the 3 months. Okay, if I will take in October, sales was 4,000, in November the sales was 5,000, and in December the sales was 6,000. Okay, these are the different numbers in each month. Now what we will do, as it is very clear that it is a moving average method, so we will take the average of 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 divided by 3. The average is coming 5,000. 5,000 is our moving average. 5,000 is our forecasting number as per the moving average method. So our factory forecast is how many bottles? For January, it is 5,000 bottles for January production based upon the last 3 months data. Okay, so if I'll talk about, in this case, you can easily take, like, think of your exam scores. You scored 60, 70, 80. You scored 60, 70 and 80. Okay, in your last 3 tests. In your last 3 tests, how much you scored? 60, 70 and 80. So moving average, what will be your average is 70. It means that it is a very fair prediction for your next test. The average score you will get probably by 17 other subject. This is a average of your next test exam score as per the moving average method. Same logic. Okay, now the third method is, which is the last method, exponential smoothing method. Exponential smoothing method. Okay, this is the third one. So this is smarter than moving average. The idea is recent months should matter more than older months. In this method, we are giving more importance to the recent months data rather than the old months. Okay, there is a value we are using in this exponential method. It's called A, which is, the meaning of A is alpha. Okay, it means the alpha is lying between 0 and 1. Just remember this alpha concept in this exponential smoothing method. It means the alpha is lying in between 0 and 1. Here it is means, suppose old data matters. If I will talk about 0 to 1, okay, so 0 is close to 1. It means low is equal to old data matters, high is equal to recent data matters. Okay, if I will tell in the table, here if I will tell in the table, alpha value which is close to 1, alpha value, I will explain here. Okay, the alpha value which is close to 1, that is high, and the alpha value which is close to 0, it is low. Okay, if I talk about what is the meaning of first point, which is high, alpha close to 1, means recent months get high weight, best for fast changing demand, like a new trending fragrances or new trending products. The low is close to 0. It means the older months still count a lot. Best for stable, slow moving products where demands barely shifts. Okay, so this is based upon the recent month. Okay, and recent month data, and this low is based upon the older month, which is still holding a weightage in the product planning, and those products are very slow products. Means low is based upon the slow moving products. Okay, slow moving products which is like barely shifts, and this is high is based upon the, if it's slow moving, the high will be fast changing. Okay, fast changing like new products, new fragrances. For example, the factory just launched a fragrance that's blowing up on a social media. Demand is jumping every week. They use high alpha in this case, so their forecast updates fast with the latest numbers. No point relying on 6 months old data, because demand is jumping, demand is changing every week. Means every week demand is changing, it is changing in very fast pace. So in this case we will use high alpha. We will not refer the 6 months old data which is lying into the low close to 0. Remember, don't memorize any formula for now, just know this thing: exponential smoothing gives more weight to recent sales. That is the whole idea. This method is giving more weightage to the recent data, recent sales. So you need to remember this thing. Okay, so this is a quick comparison table is here. I will explain. It will help you to remember and to recognize easily which method is using when. Okay, so the first situation is demand is very stable and barely change. In this case we are using naive method, which is very simple and fast. Means we are using, in this method we are taking only and only the last month sales. The next is some ups and downs, moderate shift. Okay, in this case we are using moving average, which is the balanced one. Means it, in this case we will take the average of the ups and down demand shifts. The next is fast changing demands, new products and viral trends. In this case we will use the exponential smoothing method, which is majorly focused on the recent data, recent react on the product. So in this case we will take the recent one. Hope this table will help you to remember which method is used for which purpose, and make sure the thing is, please note, no method is 100% perfect. Smart companies combine methods and add human judgment on top of the numbers, which is very important to analyze. Is whatever number we are getting after using these methods, is it actually correct or not? And that is totally based upon the human judgments. The person who are master in this industry and who knows how the number is correct, is it wrong, we need to do any changes, or is it fine? So human judgment is very important when we are using all these methods or we are doing the forecasting. The next topic is what affects demand forecasting. What are the factors which is affecting the demand forecasting? Even the best method fails if you ignore what actually drives demand. Here are few factors which I will explain. So the factors which is affecting the demand forecasting, the first, if I will talk, past sales data. The first point is past sales data, how it is affecting your forecast. So past sales data is the starting point. Means if we have a more data, there is a more accuracy in the result. Okay, if we have more data, we will get the more accuracy or better accuracy in the result, in the numbers, and this is a starting point. If this will wrong, the whole thing will mess up. The second is seasonality. Second factor is Seasonality, of course it will affect, right? Seasonality is affecting how? It is affecting like perfume demand jumps in winter and during festivals like Diwali, some wedding seasons and all. So we need to plan the number accordingly. We can't plan the same number in all seasons. It is depend upon the season to season. Like for example, I mentioned in winters the demands up very high, or in the wedding season or in the festival seasons. The next factor is new launches. Okay, this is also a major factor. How new launches is affecting forecasting? A new fragrance changes your entire demand pattern because we don't have any sales data here. So we need to plan very wisely, like how much number, how much exact accurate number, not exactly how much number we need to put at the time of launching the new products, because we don't have any demand pattern, any sales pattern for the new launches. It is totally based upon the discussions, means the qualitative feedbacks. The next is promotions. Now you will think how promotions is affecting the demand forecasting. It is affecting on the basis of the discount. Like a 20% discount creates a temporary spike. It's obvious, is a normal nature. If there's a discount, the sales will be high. So we need to plan accordingly, like how much we can produce extra if some promotions is going on few products. The fifth point is economy. Now, as I mentioned earlier, economy is also major factor in terms of affecting the demand forecasting. Like if there is a high inflation, customers shift from luxury to budget friendly perfumes. It is obvious nature. If there is a high inflation, customer will move to from luxury to the basic and the normal products. The last is social media. The last is social media trends, which is affecting the demand forecasting. Like one viral review can make demand jump overnight, and this is a actual real example. If we are watching some ad, definitely we are checking that product either on the website or either going directly there and checking. Social media influence, social media trends affecting the demand a lot. So these are the major factor: past sales data, seasonality, new launches, promotions, economy, and social media trends, which is actually affecting your demand forecasting. So before Diwali, the factory checks what sales will last Diwali, any new fragrances this season, any discount is happening, any big trends is going on the social media. All of these go into the building the forecast. All this is the major factor which is affecting the demand forecasting. Now if I will talk about some common mistakes in demand forecasting, so let's quickly look at what goes wrong and why these mistakes are so costly. So the first is using only old data and ignoring current marketing or current market, how it is impacting, how it is hurting. So the world changes, old pattern don't always repeat, and it will not help to do the planning as per the current market situation. The next is ignoring seasons and festivals. You will always under or overproduce during the peak period when we are ignoring the seasons and the festivals, because in this time usually the demand is high. So we need to produce a product as per the season and the festival. We need to keep it in the mind also. The next is using one method for every product. Different products behave differently. Use the right tool. We can't use only single method to do every planning and like for every product or every season. The next is not updating the forecast regularly. A forecast made 4 months ago is already outdated. We need to update regularly if there is any changes, if there is any additions, if there is any deductions. We need to review the forecast at least regularly to see what is the number situation. The next is only and only the sales team does the forecast. So in this case, supply chain, finance and operations must all be involved. If we will depend only and only on the sales team, we will not see the exact picture as per the terms of supply chain, finance and the operations. It will always help to find out the best figure for the forecasting. And the reality check is no forecast is 100% accurate. Every company has forecast errors. What separates great company from the rest is how quickly they spot the error and fix it. I'm repeating, every company has a forecast error, but many companies are doing, they're quickly taking the action and they're fixing that error in a very short time of period. Okay, so in conclusion, I will say we started with a perfume factory and how producing too much or too little both cost real money. Not because the product was bad, but because the forecast was off. So, demand forecasting is what stops that from happening. It connects what your customer want with what your supply chain actually produce. It will get it right, so it will save cost, it will avoid stockouts, it will serve customers more better. But if it's go wrong, so we need to pay for it in cash, it will waste the stock and we will lose the customers. So now you know what demand forecasting is, why it matters and what the methods are and what mistakes to avoid. That puts you ahead of a lot of people already. So, if this video made sense to you, hit that like button. It only takes 2 seconds and it genuinely helps this channel grow. Drop a comment below. Which method did you find most interesting? Naive, moving average, or exponential smoothing? I want to know. And if you are new here, subscribe to SCM Hive. We are building a full supply chain learning series together, one concept at a time, completely free. And one more thing, I have uploaded the complete presentation from this video on my website. You can download it for free and use it as your study reference. The link is in the description below. Go and grab it. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.